Welcome, Coach Jim. Welcome, everybody. We can start, please, John.
Yeah, first off, thank you to the fans that came out on a Tuesday night. Very good Pachuca team, a champion for a reason. A very difficult test. Obviously, a very high-powered attack. They play in a lot of high-scoring games. This was the first time they've been shut out all season, so something for us to build on. Having said that, you always want to score when you're in your home building. We were close a couple times. Mikel had two good looks. Danny had one towards the end. But overall, I think a 0-0 is a fair result, and we're at halftime now, and we know we'll probably need to score a goal in Mexico. We'll have some regret on some of the chances we had tonight, not burying one, but overall, still, I think a solid performance from the guys against a really, really good Pachuca team.
Given how shorthanded we're, start that into the field and talk off about bending and not breaking. Did tonight stood out to you?
Yeah, look, we're a defense first team. I think everybody knows and understands that. I think the job, Nathan Harriel did to, play a little bit out of position, out of his comfort zone, and do a great job shutting down some really high quality attackers. And keeping a clean sheet was really important. I thought that, everybody contributed. We did have to adjust. Obviously, we're missing our best goal scorer in Julian, our leading goal scorer. So we have to adapt and adjust. We played with 2 10s today. I don't know how clear that was on the, watching it live, but we played Quinn and Danny there. And the thinking was, with how good Pachuca is at attacking down their left-hand side, having Quinn out there to give a little extra pressure, almost play it like an 8/winger. They still came at us for sure, but that was the thought process. They also do a great job rotating the ball to their 6 and then switching it and setting you up and coming at you. So they're a great team, guys. There's no moral victories in this sport. We still have to go there and score and try to win the series, but that's a tough opponent, and a good work ethic from our group on the defensive side of the ball, John.
Hey, Jim. So obviously you held them to 0, Pachuca to 0 goals tonight. Just how important is that going into Mexico next week? Due to the importance of away goals in this competition.
Yeah, shutouts are important in this building. We don't like to concede. I think that's always the goal. We created a couple good chances in the first half too, so there's something to build on the offense there as well. What they're incredible at, and it's a credit to their coach and their players, they run and they work and they almost play it in a way that baits you into this end-to-end game, and they have some real high-quality opponents. So they almost press you out of almost like a 4-2-4. They put 4 up against your back 4. They dare you to play through, and when you play through and you go at them, they're actually comfortable with that because now they're going to hit you. They almost counter your counter, and they're incredible at it. So it's a dangerous game to play with them because you see how much they dominate in their league and how many goals they score. But I think it was a really great exercise for our guys. I think we showed that we can keep a clean sheet against a strong opponent where we've been leaking a lot of goals. I think you guys know that, and I've talked about it. Stayed a little more compact. Still got baited into. They had some chances. Don't get me wrong. I'm not naive. I understand they could have scored some goals too, but overall, something to build on early in the season. They probably have a little more fitness than us at this stage. 10 games in for them. Us just getting started. So, some good positives to take away. Not conceding at home is very, very valuable, as we learned with the Atlas series last year. Now, if we are able to score a goal there, which we're probably going to need to do, it means they have to score 2. So that's a good thing.
Jim, could you comment on the games that Martinez had tonight, especially going up against the attack in Pachuca?
Yeah, Jose had a tough task. To sit in the middle of that block of 3 midfielders is not easy. You have Rondon, who is such a talented striker, still coming back too, so he was helping out with that as well. And they're just the fluidity of their attack, all the moving parts. Jose had a really strong performance for it. I think he's up for it a little bit more because his fellow countryman and legend of Venezuela is leading their line. I think there's something to that. That's real. But Jose stepped up in a really big game and played excellent in the middle of the field tonight, I thought.
Jim, what did you see from your perspective difference between the first and second half of the league.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was a lot more tighter, compact in the second half, and compared to the mistakes you guys made in the first. But did you point out anything at halftime, or was it just something you guys need to just tighten up in the back?
Yeah, look, I think, we passed the ball well in the first half and got out on the break a few times against them. But like I mentioned earlier, they almost like that. You know what I mean? So when you break that first group of 6 and now you're run at them, you think you're in a good spot. And if you aren't ruthless and finish your chances, they're coming right back at you. And now there's space and there's gaps and they have some real talent. Idrisi's one of the best players we'll play against all season. He's incredible, almost unplayable. So this is the way it is when you're in Champions Cup and you're playing against the best teams. Again, I say it all the time. These are the games you want to play in. But you're right. We did tighten things up in the second half, but we didn't attack as much in the second half. So again, there's a little bit of a give take there. When you play against the best teams, you do have to be ruthless and finish your chances. So I know we didn't have a ton of clear-cut chances tonight, but if Mikel scores that one early, and then we get going, he has another little half chance. The goalkeeper did a great job making himself big and coming out. The little one with Danny where he tries to chip him. Again, the goalkeeper comes out quick and jumps on it fast and makes a real good play. But if we get one of those, it's the difference between, going there with a little bit of a more comfort than we'll have. So I still believe we'll have to go there and score, which is not an easy task. But we also have to be very, very smart, because if you get in a track meet with that team, just look at the scores in League MX. They score 4-3 goals every game. And that's not just me saying that. There's data to back it. They lead in every attacking category, and they're a really good opponent.
You talked about Idrissi. How do you evaluate the way that Iso did keep him off the score sheet? And then also for guys like Quinn and Jack, this game seems a little bit more tactically nuanced. Is that more valuable for guys that young to think through a game like this that maybe becomes a little different?
Yeah, I'll take that part first. For them to play in this game is incredibly valuable. I can't replicate that in training. There's no way to do it. The intensity, we have great players on our own team, but now when it's a real game of consequence, and they're playing against top players, and you don't have breaks when the ball goes out of bounds, you can't switch off for a second, because the intensity is such that you get punished because there's so many good players on the field. So I thought Jack was excellent, getting out of little tight spaces. He's developing. Jack's never going to be the fastest guy on the field or the most quick or dynamic guy on the field, but he's developed now little outs to get out of tight spaces, whether it's dipping his shoulder, deception with his left foot, or just looking a guy off and maybe playing a pass that the defender overplays his left foot and he cuts to his right. So he's got these little outs now where he can free himself and get that half step to play, a 60-yard ball that goes to Quinn, who again was really, really dangerous for us tonight. I've asked him to play as a striker, as a 10, as an 8, and he's done all three really, really well for us. The team needs everyone to adapt and adjust when Julian's out. That's a reality. If you take Rondon off of Pachuca, they look completely different, right? So when you lose your top striker, guys, I can't stress it enough, it hurts, and we all have to suffer and adjust because of it. But guys have stepped up in a big way. I'm not here to celebrate a 0-0 draw at home, but there was some good things that happened tonight. I think Mbaizo, when Mbaizo defends forward and is aggressive, I'll go with how he defended Bawanga, at times with LAFC. When he does that, he's incredible. In the moments now when you back off and you let Idrissi run at you, it's party over. You know what I mean? So you have to get close enough. I was actually happy that he stepped out and kicked him, because that let him know at midfield on that side of the field that, you know what, I'm kind of done letting you start run at me, because, it's going to hurt the next time you do it. And I'm okay with that. Foul a guy 50 yards from goal and not let him get that head of steam. Has to be said too, their left back is an incredible player. So it's a tough side that they have on that side to deal with. We did our best to take it away. Great players are going to hurt you, but I thought Mbaizo had some good moments, but also some moments that we'll certainly watch the film and he can be a little bit tighter. Easy to say as a coach, right? Get tighter to a player that's that quality, but I know he has it in him.
Last question, please go ahead. What were your thoughts on the situation before halftime? Have you ever seen offsetting handballs before in that whole crazy sequence?
To be fair, I get a lot of stuff wrong as a coach on the sidelines with my referee calls and decisions that maybe I think are one way, and then you see them on the video and you maybe get them wrong. But that one I saw clear, and I was worried on the VAR that they weren't going to go far enough back to watch what happened. And credit to the referees, they got it right. You know, when I was complaining about the handball, I thought they were going to be thinking I was talking about, you know, the play in front of goal. And I was talking about, you know, 40 yards from goal where they did gain an advantage by a clear handball. So they got that one right. Obviously it's a scary one, but ultimately, right before half, that was a big momentum change and the right call.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank
you
you.
very much, everybody.